welcome back, everybody, to the Offsides Podcast, the unofficial official podcast of Charlotte Football Club. I am your host, Andres Robledo, and I'm joined by my co-host, Pablo Robledo, the loser of Week 1 Fantasy. No, I'm just kidding. You're winning, right?
I'm always winning. Even when I'm losing, I'm winning.
It's football season and football season now. So it's going to be a fun couple months of that. Having to keep up with both. Yeah. But Pablo, how was the weekend?
Football and football. What'd you say?
So how was your weekend besides all that?
The weekend was good. Let's see. We watched the game Saturday. Nice little drizzle. The rain stayed away just long enough for the game to not be too uncomfortable. Besides that, just kind of laid around, watched some movies, played some FIFA, watched some football. Yeah, I think that was about it.
Any good movies?
Let me see. I rewatched Sicario.
It's a good movie.
I rewatched American Sniper.
It's a good movie.
We watched that new live action Pinocchio.
Oh gosh, is it terrifying?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Oh, and then I watched that new Thor movie.
Oh yeah, it's decent.
Yeah, that was I mean, I don't think I'll go back to it, but it was good one-time watch.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. That movie got a lot of hate, but I think people just don't know how to have fun at movies anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go back to movies.
To the movie theater?
Right.
I love going to the movie theater. It is still a little weird, but I like it. I like getting a big popcorn, big soda.
Yeah.
I think I like that
too.
more than the actual
movie. Last time I went, we decided to catch a late movie, which was around 8. And I think it was like about 45 minutes into the movie. I'm like, I'm ready to leave. I'm sleepy.
That's funny because we've, in the past like year, maybe 2 years, we've bought movie tickets to go see a movie at like 10 or 11 o'clock, which we used to do all the time. Like even when we lived in Atlanta, we'd go see like an 11 o'clock movie or something. And both times we've like gone out to dinner and like had the tickets for like the 10 o'clock movie, and it's like 9:30. You should probably be heading to the theater, and we're like, I'm just gonna get a refund on these tickets, so we're not going. And we've always just like not gone. We haven't gone to a late movie in so long.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not that fun for me anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely more comfortable being at home.
Yeah, and it's like you get to get your whatever snacks you want and your pajamas and the comfort of your own couch.
Yeah. I will say one thing that's definitely missing from the Charlotte area. Maybe there's one near you that you can recommend, but there's like a good dine-in like movie theater, like the places that like bring you the food and stuff, so you can like get an actual meal while you're watching the movie. There's like a good one in Atlanta we used to go to, but there's like not really a good one here. Like there's one that we go to, but the food's not that great. But those places
The
are fun.
only one that I know that did something similar like that was in the Epicenter.
Yeah, that closed down.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, like that place was going downhill fast.
Yeah. But
that's the only one that I know of.
Yeah. The one in Atlanta was fun because like I forget why they did it, but one time they did like pitchers of margarita for like $5 or something. So like Jen and I both just ordered like a pitcher, and the guy was like, "Do you want cups?" Nice. And we were like, "No, just a straw, no cup needed." And we literally just drank a whole pitcher of margarita.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into back into Charlotte FC though. I'm sure people aren't here to talk about our movie theater experience.
Although I'm sure they can relate.
Yeah. Leave it in the comment section below your favorite and worst movie theater experience. Pablo, what news do you have for us, Charlotte FC related?
Nothing crazy. We did make the MLS put out their top 10, I think it was MLS selling jerseys. Fuchs came in at number 2 and Swiderski at number 7. So that was pretty cool. Just to see at least Charlotte still kind of making some sort of headlines. I think number 1 was Bale. Pretty sure he was number 1.
And he did it in half a
Um,
season.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and they have I don't know, they have a pretty strong base over there. A lot of support. LAFC is having a great run. They're looking like, contenders, finalists, whatever you want to call it. Um, I think Philly and LA are probably going to be in the finals most likely.
Yeah, I think so
But
too.
and then yeah, and then I'm not sure who. I guess Adidas dropped the new line of shoes in correspondence with like Charlotte colors and logos and the whole thing.
Yeah,
If they were Nikes, I would get them.
I was to say, what were your take on the shoes?
I mean, if like I said, if they were Nikes, I'd probably get them just because I don't support Adidas. Um, but that's about it. I mean, they're okay, I guess. They're not like I don't know. They're not my type.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how I felt. They didn't really do it for me. I think if they were like black and mint, it would look cooler. But even then, like I just didn't really like the silhouette of the shoe. Um, so not for me. But if you buy a pair, then that's pretty cool. Tag us in your picture so we can see who all got it. Apparently, they're a little
Yeah.
expensive as well, from what I've heard. I didn't look at it.
Probably some like a lot of the Charlotte apparel that I see people posting out there. Uh, it's pretty expensive. Which I mean makes sense. Like jerseys are $130 or something like that, and I think a nice little button-up polo is at least 50 to 60.
Yeah, no comment on
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the prices. I've bought way too much stuff for this first year. Oh, but
Yeah, I saw people were like trying to collect everything Charlotte that they have given away for like all the home games and stuff.
yeah,
So I was like, that's a lot of stuff to have for just a first year team.
yeah. I think I have pretty much everything except that clear through bag that they gave out at one of the home games. But everything else, I think I've been able to get one of them. Like I've got the armband, I've got the flags, the bobblehead, the hat, the soccer ball. I think what else they've done. But I think the next home game they're giving out shirts, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, who's the next home game? Is it Orlando? No, not
No,
Orlando. Chicago. I
no,
forget.
yeah, I forget too.
Columbus.
Is that the next
Oh,
home game?
I,
That's the last home
I
game.
thought you knew. I thought you were making me guess. I thought you knew.
No, I don't know. I just know the next game is against Chicago, but it's away.
Dot
Uh,
town. Um, I think it's Philadelphia.
you might be right because we haven't played them at
I
home
don't.
yet.
There's so October 1st is Charlotte and Philly. October 9th is New York Red Bulls and Charlotte, and I think there's one more game in between those two. Maybe.
Pulling up the schedule now.
I just pulled it up on
Uh,
Sofa, so I don't know how up to date that is.
okay, yeah. So there's only two home games left. Charlotte versus Philly, and then the rescheduled game against Columbus on the 5th. The 5th
Oh,
is the
okay.
last home game,
Nice. So
and
you get a
then
shirt that day. You'll
I
get
think
me a
the
shirt that
first
day. I mean,
is the I think the first is when they're doing the shirt.
dude, what?
Like
Okay, I
October
think we're just
1st.
gonna skip ahead a little bit, but what a mess that was for the bobbleheads.
Yeah, yeah, we can go ahead and talk about that now. I'm sure that's
I
what's
mean, they had like
everyone's
two
mind.
tents for 7,000 plus people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was like I guess just volunteers doing it, like giving out the bobbleheads. So I think they got overwhelmed and were like, just take them. Like they didn't even
Yeah,
scan those vouchers. Like they messed it up big time.
yeah, yeah. I was ashamed. Well, even when like um the email went out about like you'll get a electronic voucher and you have to show up. I was like, that is a lot of people to be showing up because I thought it was gonna be like show up at the team store and get it or something like that.
I
So I
I
was like, dude, that's gonna be such a long line to get into the store and get a bobblehead.
I think that would have gone smoother though than what it ended up being, because like if you just have like a way in and a way out and you just like move people along, this was like it was just a big crowd, and so then like once you got it, you had to like fight your way through the crowd again to get out. So it was just like so disorganized, and the email was like kind of misleading because it was like you'll get the voucher at halftime and you can start picking them up at the 75th minute. I thought I was like, that's weird. Like, what, you're gonna have to leave the last few minutes of the game to go get it? Like, that's kind of dumb. And then the vouchers didn't even come in until the 75th minute, so that didn't go the way they thought it was gonna go. Just a big mess.
Yeah, I think that the whole situation kind of um, represented how our season has went. Just a
Yeah,
big mess
yeah.
so far.
And then
But I got mine, so you know, whatever.
back to the jersey sales real quick. Did you mention that Fuchs was number 2 and Serdarski was number 7, I believe?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Yeah. That's pretty incredible that we've got 2
right.
players
Yeah,
in the top 10. That's wild.
yeah. I was just like, that's a lot of because Fuchs, I never even heard of those two players until they came to Charlotte. To be honest with you,
I'd heard of Fuchs, but not Serdarski, yeah.
yeah. Like I mean, just about everybody's heard of Gareth Bale or Chicharito.
Yeah.
That's the two ones that stick out to me from that list. But yeah, still pretty cool. We're in the we're on the top 10.
Yeah. Love to see it. Um any other news?
Nope, that's all I got. You got any
Nice.
breaking news?
None over here from me. I did want to just go ahead and jump into the match against New York City FC. Uh, we beat them at their quote unquote home grounds last time. Now
Right.
they're coming to Charlotte to visit. And one thing I think we have to talk about before we even really talk about the match is the field itself. It had the football lines all painted
Ugh,
over it. What'd you think of that?
yeah. So I brought um I brought my two girls and their two cousins and their aunt. So we had a pretty big group. And I was like, "You girls have ever been to like the stadium?" And I was asking my nieces, and they're like, "Oh no." So I was like, "Oh, let me go show you the field." We were still like in the lower level, and so we stepped out there, and they're like, "Oh wow," and all that. But I'm looking at like the football lines and all that stuff. I'm like, "Oh no, like we're that type of stadium."
Yeah, and
Like I've seen those before. Charlotte, was an official team, and browsing the TV and I see an MLS game on and you see the stadium. I'm like, this is why nobody likes an MLS. And now we're that type of stadium.
yeah.
It's very, I don't want to say confusing, but it's just like trashy.
Yeah, I do want to give like Charlotte FC a scapegoat or whatever you want to call it, because they did say like they had to do it because due to the weather they weren't going to be able to go back out after the game to paint it for the Sunday game. So they like had to do it, I guess, Saturday morning. But yeah, it does suck to like it kind of makes it look like we're playing on like a borrowed stadium or something. Like just doesn't have the same feel as it normally did. It was a little odd to see, but I guess nothing they could really do, at least from what they communicated.
Yeah. And especially for like me, like, so I get that, their boundary lines and all the markings were orange. But for me, being colorblind, I was like, I don't know where it's out of bounds. Like it was really hard for me to tell.
Yeah.
It just looked like a big open field, or it looked like whenever the out of bounds on the NFL markings, like when they would cross, I'm like, oh, that's out. I was like, oh wait, no, that's not out of bounds because I couldn't tell where the markings were just because the orange and green look so similar to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not colorblind, and even I at one point I thought a a New York City player came off the bench and like played a pass in cuz like I saw the white NFL line and he was past it and I was like, "Wait, what was that?" Like did they just pass it to a bench player? And I was like, "Oh, no. He's that's inbounds. That's inbounds." So, yeah, there's
Yeah,
moments of myself too where I was a little lost.
yeah, it just looked very last minute put together.
Yeah. Um but then back to the game itself. So, New York City FC defending MLS Cup champs off or are on a quite of a losing streak right now. We're catching them at a pretty good time. And I believe they also had to play a pretty makeshift back line due to some suspensions. So, a team
Hmm.
that isn't in form, but, so ourselves included weren't really in form either. Um, what'd you think of our starting lineup with, Rios up top, which was really basically the only big news ahead of the game? Pretty much the same lineup as the week before.
Yeah, in regards to the starting lineup, I think, my thoughts on Rios. I didn't think he was going to give it much effort. I was very surprised he put one in. But whenever I saw Rios up there, I was like, yeah, they're just trying to give this guy more minutes. Like, season's pretty much over. So, um, but it was, I think Rios and Soderski both in it.
Yeah, and
Could be wrong, right?
Sir Jersey played more of like the center attacking mid role, like behind him, as opposed to
Yeah,
an actual forward himself.
yeah. Um, and then I like Vargas right up there in that same spot.
He's looking better and better
Uh,
each game.
yeah, yeah, he is. He is. Veronica was on that kind of like right mid, not wing, but mid, more like.
Yeah, him and Jones
Um,
kind of played they kind of both played center mid and played the double
yeah.
pivot.
Besides that, I was okay with the formation. I still think that New York is not really struggling. I still think they're just giving their bench players more minutes so they can rest up their main guys. I mean, like New York has already comfortably um secured a playoff spot.
Hmm.
I don't think they even after this loss, they're still sitting comfortably at fourth with 46 points, and Orlando is below them with 42 points. So I don't think they're putting their main starters out there. I think they're just resting them up and saving it for playoffs.
That's interesting. That could definitely be something they're trying to do. They just haven't had results really go their way lately. Is the reason I say they're not really informed. But yeah, you could be right. I mean, I'm not super familiar with their starting 11, even compared to like who they ended up starting. I know their defense wasn't their normal starting defense. Um, so yeah, I mean, it could be that they're playing a lot more B squad players. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not too super familiar with their starting lineup either, but that's just my thought. Like if I'm a coach, and you're already, secured your spot for the next phase of the competition, then yeah, there's no need to put in your main guys, risk possible injury or something like that. Like give your B squad some minutes, maybe mess with the formation, see if you can find somebody that sticks out.
yeah, that makes sense. So let's just jump right into the first half then. Very early action. Vargas had a great cross that almost led to a Malanda header going in. Scored a goal in his second game starting, second game with the team. That was a beautiful header, off of a corner kick too, or off a corner kick play. So that was kind of surprising to see, and that we didn't just immediately turn
Yeah,
the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Like anytime we get corners and we cross it in right from the corner, it hasn't been going our way. Uh, 9 times out of 10, we kind of seem to lose the ball or not make an opportunity out of it. So it makes sense to play that short corner there and cross it in unexpected.
Yeah.
But yeah, Malanda came up and man, the woodwork kind of saved them.
Yeah, or denied him of a great header. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
he's been outstanding addition to the team. Like you can tell he is like just a tier above everyone else really from just a natural talent perspective. Like, he's only 20 years old, but he got man of the match this game and he was someone, towards the end of the game I was like, man, we would not have won this game if it wasn't for him. Like he especially, get to the red card in a minute, but like when we got down to 10, I just felt like he was like that rock at the back that they just could not get by. And he's good on the ball, like finds great passes going forward, like very calm on it. So really excited to see his future development. I think he's gonna end up being a star for us.
yeah. He seems to have that kind of special something there going on for him. Like you said, very composed on that back line, and I really thought New York was gonna tie it up when we lost Fuchs. But like you said, like he just kind of held it down there. I think maybe like the closest thing he had to a mistake was a ricochet ball. I don't know if it went off him. I don't recall 100%, but I know there was a ricochet ball and it kind of went towards our goal, but um, nothing happened with it. But
Hmm.
besides that, he had a really good game.
Yeah, yeah, very impressed with him. Um, so then from the corner or from Milanda's attempt, we end up getting that throw, and that goes to Serdersky. Serdersky crosses it, and very unlikely goal scorer in Daniel Rios, someone who hasn't seen a lot of playing time lately. This is his second start since, I think like June or something. It's been quite a while. And he gets the header, gets the goal, gets the game winning goal 5 minutes into the half. What did you think of that?
Shocked. Um, I mean, shoot, I didn't think that was gonna go in. I was wondering what the whole play was doing, like, cause Rios is not a type of player to make like deep runs or quick runs. Even if you go back and look at that highlight, he's just kind of standing there and the ball goes right to him. So, great cross by Soderski.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a good thing. He's kind of like a tall, strong guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
makes me wonder though, like, because I know like why he's not starting a lot of the matches previously. He doesn't produce. This is what his second, maybe third goal in MLS. He just doesn't produce.
Yeah, this is his second of this season, and I think only like eighth of his career. Like he is, yeah, not a like notorious goal scorer or anything. Not Mister Consistent. Um, and that, yeah, like you said, like that is his biggest issue. Like he just doesn't. Not only does he not score, but like I think something we've been pretty critical about is like just his work rate. Like he doesn't really pressure the ball when he needs to be, like doesn't like get up and down as much as like Swiderski or Shinyashiki does. Um, so like it's not a surprise to see him fall down the pecking order, but it was a surprise to see him get a start and to bag a goal. But I think most of the props on that goal has to go to Swiderski's cross. Like that's a near perfect cross.
Yeah, I mean, he was like pinpoint on that cross there.
Yeah,
Um, just surprised Rios was able to do anything with it.
yeah. And then do want to give Rios some props too on the play he made a few minutes later, almost getting Kerwin Vargas a goal with that little cheeky pass over the line. Trying to think when it was. I'm trying to find it here on the highlights.
It wasn't too short left after that. Um, Yeah, where he kind of just floats it up there.
Yeah. If Vargas would have been
Yeah,
in a little
yeah,
bit better position, that would have been a great goal. Could have hit it one first time and he had them beat. But that was
yeah,
a great little pass by Rio. So do want to give him some props there as well.
yeah, yeah. It was a good pass by Rios. I kind of wish maybe Vargas, you know, would have maybe held the ball a little better or give it to somebody with better options. That's a tough angle to shoot that ball there, but he was wide open. You got to take it like right then and there. But
Yeah.
at the same time, um, I don't know. It's such a tight angle there that if he puts it in, it's kind of a miracle.
Yeah.
Um, but still, good attempt. At least he's shooting it, dialing it in.
Yeah. I agree. And then so that was towards the end of the first half actually. So even before that, we got to talk about another great play at the 14th minute or almost the 15th minute with Serdarski's ball over the top to Brant Bronico, who was just like on a breakaway. Uh,
Oh yeah,
doesn't get the best of first touches, kind of puts him at a tough angle, and he tries to chip the keeper, and it just goes wide. But man, that feels like that's one that should have definitely gone in if he just had a little bit better first touch there, got the ball closer to him. But what an
yeah. I thought
effort,
it
what a
was gonna
run!
get called off sides.
Yeah, no,
I
he
thought
was
I thought it
pretty
was gonna
on.
get called off. Yeah, yeah. I just because of how he was at least 3 or 4 steps in front of that defender. I was like, well, man, it looked like it was off. But yeah, the flag stayed down. Just unfortunate, Bronico wasn't able to capitalize on it.
Yeah,
But good on him for trying. Good attempt.
great ball, great
And those
run.
kind of yeah, great run. Controlled the ball well. Saw that he had very little time to shoot and try to float it up there. Those type of shots are tough. But I'm
Yeah,
glad he attempted it. Um,
it's nice to see the
Bronco
team.
is one that's.
Good.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
It was nice to see the team keep the pressure on New York after getting the early lead. We didn't just kind of sit back and
Yeah,
try to just defend the rest of the game. Like we really went out for a second or third goal.
yeah, and that's not a real good strategy either. I mean, like if they get the equalizer, then you gotta start all over basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can definitely kill the clock once you got you know 2 in. Um, but what I was gonna say in regards to Bronico is like he's a player that definitely has stepped up. Um, he's had a lot more shots than Rios. He's had better performances than Rios, so you can like see why he always gets the starting spots and why some others don't.
yeah. I mean,
Like
he's
that type
been
of oh, go ahead.
as he's kind of been the only besides Kalina, the only like consistent name on the starting lineup. Week in week out, starting to get the captain's armband too whenever Fuchs isn't available. Um, and you can see why. I mean, I
Yeah,
had a
I mean,
lot of
great work.
yeah, yeah. I had a lot of respect gained for Bronico after this game, like just from not only just performance wise, but like what he did to stick up for gains in the second half, which we can get to. Like just was playing super physical, like very tough. Like yeah, just
Yeah,
becoming a very important player for Charlotte.
but that second half is very physical overall. I thought.
Yeah, yeah, I got
I that refs lost control of that game.
yeah,
As soon
yeah.
as that red card was issued to Fuchs, I'm like, oh, they're about to lose it. They're about to lose total control of this game,
Yeah, especially
and they
since
did.
like yeah, especially since there was just again like as always just no consistency like with the calls. Like there was harder fouls from both sides like later on in the game and no reds were issued. So like I don't know, an accidental elbow if that gets a red, like I think a pretty deliberate like slide tackle into the back or a shove like that's not even going for the ball, like just a straight up shove doesn't get reds, like that just doesn't make sense. You're just not calling the game the same way for everyone. But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I think at this point, I'm not surprised with the MLS reffing.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a lot of "ref you suck" chants.
Yeah, which are always good.
Did you join in any of those?
Oh yeah, always. Always joining in
Nice.
on those.
Yeah, my section was pretty quiet as in regards to like just chanting or just overall enthusiasm. I'm like, oh man, this one kind of like so these guys suck.
That's kind of surprising for where you were sitting too. I would have expected that to go a
I
little bit
know.
more.
We were like so close to so the supporter section is like right behind the the goal, and we were like right there to the left of him, like rounding the corner there. So like super close to them. But no, yeah, like hardly anybody was clapping along with the chants or um just joining in or at all, I would say, which I thought was surprisingly because like any other time we've been or I've been there, probably the same for you. Like everyone joins in.
Yeah,
Even at the beginning when they do that little song where everybody turns around and jumps up,
yeah,
like nobody in our section was doing it. I was like, what the crap?
yeah.
Like, have you guys ever been here?
Yeah, our section's starting to do it now. Like a lot more people are doing it. You can see that it's starting to get like all the way around the stadium because early on in the season it was like just the supporter section that did it. But it's definitely spreading. But I think the weather definitely had an effect on the stadium atmosphere this game. Like you could see from the attendance, it was a lot lower. They said 30,000 people, and if you look on TV, it probably doesn't look like 30,000 just because like the side that they show on TV is always like less packed than like the side behind the camera. Like the side you and I both were sitting on. Like I feel like that side always gets way more packed than what they show, but you could tell it was definitely a lower attendance than normal.
Is that what they said the attendance was, or what was the number again?
Like 30,000. I forget exactly what it
What?
was,
No
but
way.
you think less?
Um, yeah, I think less. I
It,
think I've
it might have
it
been.
looked like it looked less. I think they might have sold 30,000 tickets and just people didn't come.
That could definitely be it. That could definitely be it.
Yeah. Which I that's another thing I don't understand is like I mean, I get it was raining, but it wasn't raining that bad. There was no thunder or lightning, so you knew it wasn't gonna get like postponed or anything like that. And
Well, once
I
the
don't know. I
match
mean, it's
actually
just
started, it didn't even rain.
exactly, yeah. Like once it started, it didn't rain hardly at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't until it was over where there was like another heavy sprinkle or
Hmm.
like another heavy pour, and then it stopped after 10-15 minutes. But like during the match itself, nothing. It was nice and cool from the rain. Um, and even if it had rained, like I don't know, as a fan, I always feel like if you buy tickets with the intention of going to support a club, you should at least show up.
Or at least sit inside, which is what maybe
Yeah,
someone did.
is that what you did?
We did it for like the first 5 minutes just because,
Oh my gosh,
well, because at the last home game, we
it's
got
just
there.
rain.
Well, no, because we got there early, and then we went out there, and they did like the delay or whatever, so everyone had to go back in. So we like there was like nowhere to sit or anything. It was super uncomfortable for like an hour. So this time we were like, all right, we're gonna wait like 5 minutes and see if like they actually play, uh, or make sure they don't call everyone back inside or anything. So that way we have like a table. Uh, so then once we figured out that it wasn't, they were just gonna play it out. That then we went back out there.
You guys are soft.
Nah, man, you haven't been through that lightning delay as many times as we have. It sucks every time. It's the
What do you mean?
worst.
Your section has like AC and everything. You just go inside and sit on the floor.
Yeah, but it gets packed. It's so
So what?
uncomfortable.
Oh my, you're soft.
Yeah, that's probably true. But we were out there. We only missed like 2 minutes.
Yeah. But still, the fans that the fans that showed up, good on you. We're to support the club, so props up to you guys. Um, those are the true diehard fans, especially those supporter sections. I mean, those guys are always keeping the party alive. So I want like next season. I want to find out like how to get some seats either with them or like sneak over there. I'm gonna do something to get over there.
I think you can buy supporter section tickets. I think you can go on
Yeah,
Ticketmaster and buy some.
probably, but I'm just gonna try to sneak over there.
Good luck. Anyways, anything else in the first half? I mean, I very much felt like it was a much improved performance over the week before. Even the when we played New York the first time, it felt like we were better. I felt like we were really the dominant team that whole first half and I mean whole game really. But what'd you think?
No, yeah, I agree. There's nothing really then besides the goal and a couple misses that stood out to me in regards to that first half. I know we kept the ball in their field or their half, I should say, for most of the time. And whenever they did have some chances on us, there wasn't anything even close. Um, so I thought we had a very good, strong first half, dominant. Um, but nothing, like I said, nothing too memorable. Regular soccer match.
Yeah. And Kalina kind of back to his form of playing very, very well, little to no mistakes, some huge saves. So glad to see that. Like he had been dipping recently.
Yeah, there was a couple times where I saw where he passed the ball off to the defense to the side and um semi close calls where I'm like, I don't know if you should have done it. Like just sometimes just boot the ball up there and restart the play. Um but no, yeah, especially in that second half, he definitely had some good big saves.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into the second half. You know, pretty eventful right away, honestly. We
Yeah,
get to the 55th minute and we see I'm just looking through the highlights to make sure there's nothing else before. I mean, we get a free kick, but not really close. Hits the wall. Da, 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 da. Yeah, nothing too. Oh, Yazwick almost scores a great goal, hits the post. Unlucky there. But other than that, I mean, the real action starts at the 55th minute. After Yazwiak hits the post, we get a corner. And, seems like Fuchs just kind of accidentally elbows one of the New York City FC defenders right in the face. Goes to VAR for review to see if it should be a red card, and they, for some reason, decide it should definitely be a red card. Uh,
that guy was diving.
I mean, what do you think? You
Mm,
think it was like an intentional elbow or just, like honest mistake?
Looked clean to me.
See,
Looked involuntary. I think it's like some sort of old man thing where he like
the
his
cramp,
arm
the
just
shoulder cramp.
yeah, yeah. It's just involuntary movement. Can't help. It's like a tick, you know.
Yeah. So he gets his second red card of the season, and we go down to 10 men for the rest of the second half. Um, you know, because of the red card, we see Kerwin Vargas come off and Nathan Bryan come on, so we can still play with four defenders. I thought that was a pretty smart move by the coach. No need to risk, just keeping three in the back or having someone play out of position. It sucked to see Vargas come off, especially because, again, like it felt like he was having a good game. He's starting to, with each start, I feel like he's getting a little bit better and better. So it
Yeah,
sucked to see him come off, but that back four plus Kalina, man, they held it down, even though they played a man down for what was it, 40 minutes or so?
yeah, yeah. Pretty much. I mean, the I think the extra time that the ref allotted was like an 8 minutes. So I was like,
Yeah.
golly, that's a lot of time. And a lot of it was just like New York wasting time.
Yeah, just staying on the ground.
Yep.
There was, we could talk about that. It seemed like it was right after the red card review. Like, I guess the guy that got elbowed or something like had to come off until he could come back on, but he wasn't coming off. He just wanted to stay on, and that caused a delay.
Yeah.
And you could tell from that point forward, like the ref just kind of lost the match because like New York
Mhm.
was just literally not following like the rules by taking a guy off for I don't know how long he's supposed to stay off for, but he's supposed to come off just like any other time you see a guy who's been like hurt. They take them off and then eventually let him back on. But like
Yeah.
they finally got
Yeah.
him off the field, and then like as soon as play started, he just ran back on, and then the ref just
Yep.
like didn't know what to do and just let play go.
Yeah,
So
like, he,
yeah,
like, halfway went to do something and just like, "Screw it, just play."
yeah, it's like watching a rec league game where the ref's like, I don't get paid enough for this, just play.
Little Sunday league.
Like I don't really know the rules, so you guys can just play.
It's like, "I literally just passed the exam yesterday. They didn't cover this."
um,
But, no, yeah, I'm the same boat as you, like, as soon as they went to VAR for that red card, and then that guy wasn't getting off the field, I'm like, "This guy already he lost control of the match." And,
yeah,
yeah, there were several yellows that followed after that. Um, and I guess we're down a man. At that point, it just makes sense to play more defensive formation. Um, you don't wanna risk giving up an equalizer. Just
yeah,
settle for the 1-0.
yep. I think it totally made sense. Like just settle it, just keep them out. And they did a great job of that. Like New York never really had any big chances. Yeah, they had maybe I think two that, looking
Right.
through the highlights, watching it again, that I would consider, good chances. And Kalina came up huge both those times. But other than that, like they weren't able to break down the team. Anytime they did, like that back line, cleared the ball or, found players available. Um, huge defensive effort. Uh, do want to talk about the the almost fight that happened,
Yeah.
where I don't even really know like what started. I mean, Gaines was kind of like defending against the guy, and I guess the guy goes down, and then another New York defender just you know, shoves him, and Prodigal just comes running in and shoves that guy, and then Anton Walk shoved a guy.
Oh,
Just
Anton Walks 110% shoved a dude like 10 feet into the air almost. Like that guy went flying.
yeah,
That was not a dive.
that guy like
He for
left
real
the
fell.
scuffle after that. He's like, I'm not getting involved.
He's like, "I don't really wanna fight."
yeah, um, just
He thought it was
chaos.
WWE.
But you know,
Yeah.
I thought it was great to
But that's,
see like the team just sticking up for one another like that. I thought it was very cool.
yeah. Yeah, that was good, I guess sportsmanship, if maybe that's what you wanna call it? I'm not sure. Um, but somebody asked me, it was like, what would they have done if they really got into a fight? I'm like, they would have not really gotten into a fight." I'm like, "Shoving and hollering is probably as close as it gets." I
Maybe
said,
a gentle headbutt here and there.
right, yeah, so, like, the worst, it's ever been is, like, you might get a kick or a punch from a guy, but that only happens in, like, lower tier Spanish leagues
Yeah.
where they probably drink at halftime.
yeah. But
But, yeah, I think that was, like as far as, like, a scuffle, that was pretty common scuffle, right? Like, you get everybody in there, and you get some shoveling, and I mean, not shoveling, but some shuffling and some shouting, players in the faces, and then it just kinda breaks up.
yeah, I definitely thought there was going to be more consequences from it. Like the guy that shoved Gaines, I think that should have been a red. Like that's just like he's not playing the ball or anything. Like
Yeah.
And then surprise Anton walked away with just a yellow. That was kind of surprising. But
Yeah, yeah, especially after that guy, the way that guy flew.
yeah. Yeah. There's unfortunately not a great clip of it on YouTube, but um
Oh, they're all over
you can definitely find it on
Twitter and
Instagram,
Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
very cool. But what
yeah,
I was gonna say too, another reason I'd like just more respect for Brent Bronico now is like shortly after that, like he does a great slide tackle on one of the New York City guys just to
yeah,
keep them in their own half, like clearly like just does not care, like
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, not only keep them in their own half, but also stop the play, stop the momentum, and just
just
kind of
rattle
take one
them.
for the team there. Yeah, because
That was another
at
one I was
that
surprised he
point,
only got the yellow.
yeah,
'Cause
well,
that was like a hard
true.
tackle.
That was a very hard tackle. Um, but very very unselfish by Bronico to get that yellow put on him because you either risk the play letting develop and a scoring opportunity um come, or you just take the foul, take the card, and just stop the kill the play, kill the
Yeah.
momentum for New York, and that's what he did. So high IQ moment for Brant Bronico there.
And I like it too because like he doesn't like I'm watching the clip and you know takes the guy out, gets up, and is kind of like
Yeah,
walking back, but just stares down the
he
ref
knows what he
like,
did.
yeah, he's like, I don't care. Like doesn't argue,
Yeah,
like nothing, just takes the yellow and then just like jogs back. He's like, whatever.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
that's what I want to see from a center mid, and he's finally delivering on it,
yeah.
which is
Oh
nice to
yeah,
see.
for sure. And Bronico's always been there too. Like whenever hard fouls happen or we get yellows or things like that, he's always been one of those guys that get in the ref's face and like yell. So is like Fuchs and definitely Sturdursky.
Yeah.
But Bronico's always been one of those ref shouters, um, which is to me surprising now because I think we covered this before. Um, Years back, refs did not allow that. Like, uh, you'd probably get carded or something for
Yeah.
something like that. But now it's kind of common, and the refs kind of get treated like crap.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, even
Whereas
like
before, like refs were author very like a almost a policeman on the field. Like, they had you held them up to a higher standard. They had a lot of respect, and whatever they said went.
yeah. I think even like back in the day, 10 years ago, uh, or so, even like the slide tackle that Bronico made on that guy, like I think back then that would have been like a red. I feel like things are just a lot more lenient now. Like I think refs are just scared to make those calls like in the heat of the moment, just because of the
Yeah,
backlash they will face.
yeah. Not only that too, I think um
I mean, you
the
imagine the
backlash that they could
stadium.
possibly face. Yeah.
You imagine the stadium like if they would have given Bronico a red right there, like they would have freaked out. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
that would
Like
have.
might have charged
Yeah.
the field.
Oh, 30 imaginary thousand fans.
Yeah. Um, and then
But no, I agree with you, and I think another part also that has taken away some of the refs' credibility and power is VAR.
yeah, yeah, I agree. It's
But that's the way the game is now, so it's got to roll with the punches.
not only that, but there's going to be the automated offsides now too, or semi-automated offsides. That's going
Oh
to
right,
be
yeah.
implemented at the World Cup. It's being used in the Champions League right now. It actually uh, canceled out one of Chelsea's goals for the Champions League and made them lose their opening game. So that sucked. So we'll see
I don't
how it
think
goes
they're
in the
gonna win.
Champions League. um, and then as we get towards the end of that, I mean, anything else on the second half you wanted to cover? I mean, it was not a whole lot of action,
Another
honestly.
No, yeah, just like the second half. I kind of saw Rios just go back to his same old work ethic, barely making runs, not really pressuring, things like that. Even some of the fans that were sitting in my section um agreed with me, and I was just like, man, this guy is not making runs. Good. I think he was somebody in our midfield had the ball, and I was like, "Rios, why are you not running? Like run!" And they were like, "I know," and I was like, "Yeah, exactly. Like this guy, this guy's not does not have a great work ethic there,
Yeah.
and that just starting the attack overall." Um, and then somebody else had asked me is like, when the scuffle happened, it's like, why didn't they card everybody that was involved in that? I was like, well, you can't just go carding everybody.
Yeah. Be sick though if they did. That would be some tremendous
Just cancel the
content.
game.
Yeah.
Everybody go home.
Game's over. Look what you all
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Take a knee. So we're gonna have a talk. But no, yeah. Besides that, just a physical second half. A lot of yellows came out of that, but I still blame that mostly on the refs. He just let that get way out of control. It, if you're gonna throw a red our way for that little elbow shuffle, I mean, you got to throw a red at New York. They had multiple instances where it should have been a red too.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Um,
But
and then the
that's show business.
last thing too is Shinishishki's yellow that led to the free kick. Were you nervous at all about that
Oh
free kick at the very end? Or were you like, oh no, this
yeah,
is
like that was dumb. I
Yeah.
think he was trying to like copy what Bronico was doing, but gave it up in a very horrible position.
Like I can tackle
Like
outside the
just
box too. Like, yeah, but do it in the
yeah, he's
other
like, oh, I can
box.
step there. Like exactly. I was like, man, that is not the spot where you want to go
Yeah.
fouling people. I thought the equalizer was gonna come for sure, but now they woofed it. So
Oh,
thank
there's
goodness.
something else. After the red, every time a New York City FC
Oh yeah.
player touched the ball, there was these loud boos across the stadium. Uh,
Well,
except maybe your
to
section.
let me. No, I was gonna say let me correct. It was every time the player that got fouled, that number 24, I think, or whoever,
Right.
the one
Yeah.
that Fuchs elbowed. Every time he touched the ball, the stadium just interrupted into boos. And I didn't catch on until like 2 or 3 boos later. I'm like, oh, they're just booing that one guy.
Yeah.
Because I was
Same.
definitely just booing it every time a New York player touched it.
Yeah, I was in the
But
same boat. I
no,
was a
yeah,
little
that was good.
confused as to why it was going on. Then I caught on. I was like, oh, that's the guy. But let me ask you
Yeah.
this. Did you think those boos were abnormally loud for how many people were in the stadium?
Yeah, it did seem like a lot.
I think they were pumping that through the speakers.
You think so?
Because it was like the same boo every time. And I think they were just playing it through the loudspeaker.
Well, if they were, uh,
They
you know,
probably weren't, but
good on
man,
them. They
yeah,
should.
I like to think that
That'd
they
be awesome.
were.
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, because they definitely seemed louder, and it's like something that was kind of abnormal too, because in MLS, like, well, not just MLS, like in soccer general, when the team gets a couple of passes together, usually you'll hear the "Ole" chant start,
Yeah.
and that hasn't happened any of the times I've been there.
It's happened
And
once.
this has it?
Yeah. I forget what
Well,
game.
once,
Yeah.
but it usually happens like just about every time. Like once they get like I don't know, 5 to 6 passes put together, especially like short passes working around defenders and stuff like that, getting a little triangle going. And you start to hear the ole, ole, ole. But I've never heard it. And that's just a regular like chant or mock um, that happens anywhere. And so when I heard the boos being directly towards that one player, I'm like, that's odd.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't expect that from fans.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it might not have been the fans. Might have been
No, yeah,
someone
you
in
could be
the
right.
someone in the sound booth having a go.
I definitely joined in.
Yeah,
It
same.
just yeah, it just seemed odd. It's like, how does does this one tradition? Because it happens in other leagues and things like that, where if the fans decide that they don't like the certain player, then they'll just boo specifically him. We've seen it many a times. Um, so like anytime the player gets that ball, boos just erupt automatically. Um, I was like, how does this one tradition stay or get picked up here in Charlotte, but the main one doesn't. The Ole, like I haven't heard an Ole chant at all.
Yeah, like I said, I've only heard it at one game, one home game so far. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with like I don't remember if you brought it up on the last episode or not of like just because of how big the US is, you don't really get a lot of away fans. So it's like who are you cheering at, you know? Cuz a lot of those are to kind of like upset the opposing team and opposing fans and stuff, and it's like maybe that has something to
Very
do with
true.
it.
Very true. Because I was just getting ready to ask you if you tried to start into who are you chant.
Just the one time with you.
Yeah, we did it. We did
we
it once.
It seemed loud when we did it.
They got to do that one through the speakers as well.
Yeah. I mean
Audio
that
man, if you're listening, who are you?
that would be such a good one for like the lower sections to do, like that are up along the sideline, especially like in the
For sure.
corners.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
If we can get like Blue Furia or those supporters down there to start it, I think the whole stadium would probably join in.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they could like work it in there,
I think
I
you just
bet
have
you
to
would catch on quick.
explain it to people because there's not really anything like that in football or basketball or anything. You're like, listen,
Yeah.
when an
Yeah.
opposing team player does something stupid, you just yell out, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
What? Any closing notes on the match? Are your playoff
Um
hopes reignited?
yeah, we're back in it, man.
You're a fool. You're a
Let me see,
fool.
where are we sitting?
I think we're like 10th.
We're 11th.
Yeah, so we're not even close.
We're kind of close.
Who's
If you
7th?
take out the 10th, 9th, and 8th, we're almost there.
Hmm.
And we just need 6 points. So 2 more wins. And everybody else has to lose.
So I guess
And we're back
technically
in
there's still a chance.
it.
Who's in 7th place right
So
now?
you're saying there's a chance. 7th is New England. No, I'm sorry. Columbus.
Okay, so I mean we have to play them, so there's the potential to get 3 points there.
Yeah, still the potential of a told you so.
Nah, no way.
Yeah, you're right. One of
Uh,
these days I'm gonna get it. Not this season. But still, I mean, happy with the win at home. Um, just glad to get the winning streak. Well, I don't know if you can even call it a streak. Just glad to get another home win.
yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see them
Yeah,
just win out the remaining games at home, get that place to be kind of back to what it was throughout the season of just being a very difficult place to come play and beat us at, and lately it hasn't felt like that. Um, but
right.
you know, oh, and that was the other thing we need to talk about too was this is the first time in MLS, or the second time in MLS history, first time in 20 years that a new expansion team has beat the defending champs in a sweep. So we beat them away and home, and we haven't done that. No other team has done that in 20 years. So that's a huge accomplishment for us to reflect on at the end of the season.
But is it a sweep? I mean, it's just 2 games.
Yeah, we 2-0 with them. That's a sweep, baby. Get swapped. Get the brooms out.
get, get the Swiffers out.
I mean, against the defending
Um,
champs, like
Look,
those
I'll take
are
it. Sure, if it counts as a sweep, I'll take it.
though
That's
if
fine.
those were
Well,
both two
next time New
games.
York comes, we'll bring brooms.
Those were definitely two games that everyone had circled as losses on the calendar. You cannot tell me
Oh
otherwise.
yeah, no, yeah, um, I definitely thought it was gonna be a loss.
Yeah.
But then again, I conspiracy theory me says that New York's not playing their best guys.
Regardless, still better than most of the teams, I feel like.
Regardless.
Um, so now we travel to Chicago. You know, they were one of the teams that beat us at home.
Yep.
Unfortunately. So hopefully we can get a little revenge match. Hopefully Bronico's feeling extra fired up again and gets his little revenge narrative going against them. And we walk away with 3 more points. I mean, that would be huge if we can get 3 points there. If Columbus loses, if
Playoffs.
everyone else loses, if we get some bonus points for
Playoffs.
some reason, who knows?
Handicap.
Maybe they expand playoffs by an extra team or something. Anything could happen. It's all on the table. Maybe Tepper reaches out to the commissioner and says, "Look, here's a couple extra million if you let us in."
I'm glad you're back on my side.
Yeah, but it'll be an entertaining game for sure. This weekend, 8 o'clock game. Man, that's borderline late.
That is late. Why so late?
Well, I guess it's 7 in Chicago.
Still kind of late.
Yeah. Catered to the East Coast fans. There's more of us here.
Yeah.
But
Weird how like there's so many dates on the East Coast, like bunch of little ones and then bunch of big ones on the West Coast. I'm just like,
yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Who drew this up? They're
Uh,
like
someone.
colonizing all this, and they're like, there's a whole bunch of land on the other side, and they're like, oh,
Just
ours.
split that up between like 15 states.
Yeah.
The other 35 will be over here. Any other closing statements or anything?
um, no. Who do you think? Who do you think's gonna get to start in striker position? You think Rios is gonna get another start there? I mean, this is 2 in a row for him now,
He might.
and he had a goal.
Yeah, that was the one thing is like he had the goal.
He had a goal, and he had like a couple of good passes.
Yeah,
Shinsky's still not really performing when he comes in.
but he's also like not getting
Um,
any time.
yeah, that's the thing I don't
He's
get.
coming
Like,
in pretty late, and in this game he came in like when we're a man down and just trying to defend. Like I think he
yeah,
was literally
at
just
that
out there
point
as
where,
like a fresh legs.
yeah, no, yeah, you're right. And that's the thing I don't get. Like, if you're gonna put Rios up there, then with Sidorsky in that back middle, like behind him, I think it'll work the same for Shinsky,
Yeah, yeah, I think that would. I'd much rather
and
see
I think it
that.
would probably work better.
Yeah, I'd much prefer that than to see Rios out there again. Also, I want to see more Nuno Santos. I think the red card is kind of
Yeah,
the reason we didn't get to see him because there was just no like real good way to fit him in because I think Soderski came out for Zobosinski, so we pretty much
yeah.
just went
I
to
was
5 in
surprised
the
he came
back.
in.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes and no. Like it makes sense because we were just trying to keep that 1-0 lead, and I mean, he's perfect for that. Like just grinding out that win.
What was Lindsay in? Did Lindsay play?
No, awful and
Okay.
Brian ended up playing. This
Yeah,
was
see,
fixed up
that's
the
who
road.
I expect. I expected Lindsay to go in. Um,
Yeah.
but still not, Zabozinski did a fine job as well.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. We will find out Saturday who is in.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I think also at this point I would like Kalina to just maybe take this away game off. I would really like to see that tall goalkeeper get a full 90 minutes in.
He was on the bench last game.
I know. I thought he was gonna maybe play, but I just want to see him get a full 90 minutes. See
Yeah, see what we
how many
got.
he lets in. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that could make sense. All right. Any shout outs or anything we need to do?
Of course, there's some shout outs. Just kidding. I don't think there's any.
All right. Well, then that's going to wrap it up here for us. And we will see you guys next week.
Hasta
Bye.
mañana. Bye. Oh, wait, no. We forgot to do the giveaway.
Oh, that is correct. Yes. So if
That's
you're
right.
still listening, here's the bonus secret giveaway. Take it away, Pablo.
Secrets. Okay. So obviously it was a big fiasco for the bobbleheads. And the people that went with us, we each got bobbleheads. But not everybody kept theirs, so we're like, all right, well, let's just give some out. So if you did not get a bobblehead and you want to get a bobblehead, we'll post a picture. I'm sure you've seen them already, but we'll post pictures of what they look like. But you know how to enter. Leave a like, leave a 5-star rating, with a comment, and share the post.
Must
Share
be
with your
following us.
friends. Yeah, follow us. Tell your mama, tell your daddy,
Tell your mama's mama, tell your daddy's daddy.
tell your mama, yeah. Tell your exes, all your exes in Texas.
I've been thinking about
Tell
you.
that.
You should listen to this podcast.
Like, remember that one podcast we listened to? Well, here's this other podcast.
It's not as good, but you should definitely listen.
Yeah. Tell all your multi-level marketing people, whatever it is, MLMs.
Yeah.
Tell all them.
It's not a pyramid
We're not
scheme.
we're not talking about that.
And then what else have we got? If you have
Yeah, so
kids,
and
tell your teacher,
yeah,
your kids'
oh yeah.
teachers.
Like these
Uh,
will make
tell
good
your kids' friends.
desk trophies. They're actually pretty
They're pretty big.
pretty yeah, pretty big and pretty stout. Like I thought it was just gonna be like this plastic little bobblehead, but
That's pretty nice.
it's not. It's pretty nice.
It says inaugural
Like,
season. It's got the away kit on, which
yeah, we'll put the
controversial.
makes sense. No, it's not. It's pretty good. I love the away kit. That's why I have a jersey of it.
I do too, but like, there's the home kit for a reason. You gotta rep the home kit.
Ah, you rebels, Rebel Alliance.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we'll put that out on Twitter, Instagram.
and
There was this other thing.
we'll announce
What
the
was it?
winner after the Columbus game, so we'll let the giveaway run for a while. So
After the yeah. So next time we record, is that right?
no. The Columbus
I don't
game
know.
is like October 5th, so we got a couple weeks. And
Oh
you
my
know, if
gosh.
you and like last time, you can enter multiple times. So if you do a review on Apple, that's one entry. If you subscribe to our YouTube and leave a comment, that's an entry. If you follow our Instagram and share the post and comment on the post, that's an entry. And same for Twitter, that's an entry. So you can get up to 4 entries, and you can convert those 4 entries into maybe a bobblehead, which you can then sell for a Bitcoin, which you can then sell for a Tesla. Big opportunities
Upgrade.
here.
Yeah, trade your way up from a bobblehead to the supporter section tickets.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we'll announce the winners on the 75th minute. You can come get them.
You'll get a digital voucher.
Tent. You get a digital voucher, and then you have to meet us at our tent. It's not creepy.
The alley's creepy,
You
but
have
the tent is not.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna decorate my bobblehead just a little more.
You should
Put
sign
on
it.
some Nikes, shoes.
Oh yeah, you could paint it. Yeah, you could definitely paint the shoes.
I think I'm gonna paint mine a little more.
Nice. I like
I'll
that.
put it on my work desk.
Nice. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
like we said, enter the giveaway. We'll announce someone on the episode we do after the Columbus game. The Columbus game, I believe, is the 5th. So we will let you know when we're going to do that episode and announce the winner. And it'll also be on social medias and everything like that, like last time. But until then, we'll see you guys next week after the match against Chicago.
Yep. All right. This is for real. Goodbyes.
Goodbye forever.
Goodbye. Farewell. All right. I'm going to shut up.
All right, bye.